Hey, what's going on, boys? It's me, Aaron Alexander, and in this video, I'm going to be covering my 4 C's that you need to know. It's really all you need to know in order for you to get good at cold approach, going out, meeting women, becoming more confident with women, and ultimately being able to date the women that you want. So we're going to cover the 4 C's. Now, if you got an email from me recently, then you'll know that I am retiring from live coaching at the end of this year. I'm retiring from in-person events. I have a lot of very specific reasons for that, and maybe I'll discuss those in the future. But if you've ever thought to yourself, I would really like to take a boot camp one day with Aaron, well, this is pretty much your last chance. The women that you date, the women that you marry, the women that bear your children, there is maybe no greater indicator or factor in your happiness on this planet. Truly. You take a broke guy with a good woman by his side or a bunch of women by his side, bro, that dude's living a better life than a multi-millionaire who's got a fat, ugly wife who's addicted to porn. And he's just sitting there thinking all day, every day, like, dude, I would love to cheat on her, but if she catches me, I'm going to have to go through a divorce and give her all my money. Like, this is so important. And I can't stress enough how important this all is. So I want you guys to follow my 4 C's. I want to break this all down very concise, break this down to really what I view to be all you really need to know in game, and I hope you guys find this very helpful. Number 1, courage. So at the end of the day, if you cannot bring yourself to approach beautiful women, if you can't bring yourself to ask a girl out on a date that you like, if you can't bring yourself to just, have that situation where maybe it's not the most ideal, but you're going to go for it, then you are a coward. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it's the truth. You're a coward. You want to be a courageous man in this life. Every movie hero that you ever looked up to, anyone you've ever looked up to in your life, maybe that's Trump, maybe that's Tate, maybe that's, some sort of a military figure or a celebrity or something, they had courage, all right? You have to be a courageous man. And again, I just have to say that if you're one of these dudes who's been following my videos for years and you're not approaching and you can't bring yourself to do it, then you're a coward. Hate to break it to you. You got to have courage. That's number 1. Next up, you got to have confidence. Now, you might think to yourself right now, okay, Aaron, I get it. What's the difference between courage and confidence? There's a big difference. Courage is just kind of taking that first leap, right? It's taking that very first leap. All right, I've got the courage to jump into battle, right? Now, confidence comes from competence. Confidence comes from knowing that you're going to be just fine when the going gets tough. So the way that you become confident when it comes to cold approach is by, number 1, wearing, just very basic stuff. Wearing an outfit that makes you feel good. You know that shirt you've got that just, it fits well. You know how you don't like how you look when your hair gets too overgrown and you keep putting off that haircut? Well, confidence is going to come from getting that haircut right. It's going to come from getting that fashion on point. And it's going to also come from having techniques and tools in your back pocket. So in my very first program, Engage, I talk about how you want to have a note card, potentially even, with topics that you want to be hitting in conversation. You want to be going out with a default opener that you're going to use. You want to be going out with the perfect close, knowing exactly what the date is that you're going to ask a woman to be going to go on with you. So confidence is going to come from competence, knowing that, okay, you're going to be good to go. Now, confidence not only will come from these tools and tactics and these systems really, but it's also the one of all of these that is really only going to be built over time. So right now, courage, I don't care who you are or what the situation is, you can draw up courage at any given moment. You are at the edge of a cliff, you're about to cliff dive, everyone else is doing it, you're petrified. I don't care who you are, courage is a decision. Confidence will come with time. I did not have confidence with women until I built that up over time. So I started out, as many of you know, I was 290 pounds. I had severe acne. I had crippling anxiety. I was severely depressed when I started out. I was in the throes of severe alcoholism. But what happened was I mustered up courage. And so I mustered up courage and I started going out and doing approaches. And then I got some girls to pay attention to me. And then they started paying attention to me for a little bit longer. And then maybe I would make them laugh, but they weren't interested. But then I would maybe get their phone number and then they would flake me. And then I'd have the rare girl actually meet up. And over time, I started developing confidence knowing, oh wow, I can do this. I'm becoming more competent. So it's all about courage to build up your confidence and your competence here, okay? So courage and confidence. Next up, charisma. I will give a guy an opener. I'll tell him, go up to a girl and just go up and tell her that you think she's hot. Hey, we're on a boot camp right now. Go tell that girl she's hot. And the guy goes up and he goes, hey, you're really hot. Hey, I just wanted to tell you you're hot. Oh, thank you. Why didn't that work? Why did that not work? It didn't work because there was no charisma. You must have charisma. So the difference between, hey, you're really hot. You're really hot. Versus, excuse me, hey, sorry to bother you. I saw you over here and you're so attractive. I had to come meet you. Charisma. Working on your tonality. Many of you are incredibly monotone. Many of you are you're too quiet. Many of you are telling stories and saying like and you're not charismatic at all. And then you fuckers, you want to just tell me that, oh, that line you said didn't work. Oh, that thing you told me to do, or that thing in Aaron's video that I saw, it didn't work. It's because you're not doing it with fucking charisma. That's why it's not going to fucking work. You have to have charisma. And the interesting thing about charisma is that you can build charisma today just like you go to the gym. So if you know that right now you're a boring speaker, you've been on that date, you've been in that family gathering, you've been at that workplace where you're telling a story and you notice everybody just kind of woo, all right, okay, You notice people don't really listen to you? Well, it's because you're monotone. So practice speaking very slowly. Practice speaking like your words have the most importance to them, that these are life or death words, and that if you don't hang on to everything I say, your life is in danger. Practice speaking like that. And then practice speaking really, really fast, because you're now telling this crazy story. And my buddy, he's hanging off the side of the boat and he's like, don't leave me, don't leave me. We start screaming, dude, there's sharks down there. We see them. He's panicking. Practice speaking with enthusiasm and excitement, because people will feel that off of you. So you want to be able to master all the realms of speaking. And that's where charisma is going to come from. Now, look, let's be honest. I could do a full hour video on all of these. Truly, I could. So there's more to charisma, but start practicing now. If you're a quiet guy, start rapping in your car. Start speaking in your car. Become charismatic. Speak like you are important, like you own the fucking place, like you own the environment. Charisma. Finally, the final C. Here we are. Closing. You must close. You must become a closer. Courage, confidence, charisma, and closing. So I had a mentorship student a little while back, and I remember he told me, he said, dude, the craziest thing ever. I'm walking around the mall, and I do a couple of approaches, but then I get really bad anxiety after that, feeling like I'm burning it all down. He goes, I sat at the food court, and this girl sits a table over next to me, and she starts conversation with me. He goes, she starts talking to me. We're vibing. We're having all this conversation. She's leading the whole thing. And he said, I could tell that she wanted me to ask her out at the end. I could tell that's what she wanted. And he goes, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to just ask her to go out. And he was beating himself up so bad over that. And, you know, Aaron from 4 years ago would maybe tell you that you shouldn't beat yourself up over that. But I'm going to be honest with you. You should beat yourself up. You should be very, very hard on yourself. And so closing is going to come from not only in your approaches, but also in that bartender that you had at that little spot that you don't normally go to, that waitress, that barista, that girl next to you in line at Starbucks. Close, close, close. There are so many times where you start mastering all the beginning parts of all of this. You're being charismatic, you're being courageous, you're having confident, good, engaging interactions, conversations with women, and then you're not asking for the phone number. Ask for the phone number. Hey, just out of curiosity, you ever been over to Corner Bar on Main Street? No, actually, I haven't. Or yeah, I have. We should grab drinks this week. Sure, let's do it. You see how fucking simple that is? Close. Courage, confidence, charisma, closing. If you can understand these 4 concepts, it is game over. You will marry the women that you want. You will date the women that you want. You'll sleep with the women that you want. It will be game over. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Again, if you would like to take a in-person boot camp with me, Aaron Alexander, click the link down below to apply. My assistant is going to reach out to you, and we are going to discuss whether you're going to be a good fit for this program.